and welcome to the October 29th Investment and Strategy Committee meeting. On this committee is Chair Councillor Bressie, who is not available today. I will be acting chair, and Councillor Bosch is on this committee, as well as Mayor Clayton. I would ask for a motion to adopt the agenda.
So moved.
Thank you. Call a question. And that carries. Moving right on to our service area update, I would ask Mr. Tarrant, Chief Tarrant, to provide us with an update for service area.
Thank you, Chair Blackmore. So we'll note that this is with a bit of a restructure here. So this will be the first time that the investment and strategy update will come all together. So for Invest Grande Prairie, last week the Invest Grande Prairie team participated in a day and a half of collaborative sessions with Northern Alberta Medical Program, the U of A, and NWP, working together on plans to welcome the 30 medical students to Grande Prairie in the fall of 2025. And it's great that the city's included in that and that we're assisting in that journey. Last week, InvestGP, along with the Mayor, CAO, and CFO, met with MNP and their partners to discuss insights and strategic incentives. Thank you for MNP for the opportunity to connect. The Invest Grande Prairie team and the Mayor hosted the Invest Northwest launch with the County of Grande Prairie and the MD of Greenview in Calgary, highlighting regional collaboration and investment opportunities. We had 120 attendees from a wide variety of industries in the room, and it was great to connect with many different individuals down there. Invest Grande Prairie was also pleased to participate in Small Business Week, enjoyed connecting with 30 plus small businesses in the community. Appreciated the opportunity to learn from local inspiring women at the Women in Business Lunch, and to make connections at the Chamber's Awards of Distinctions. Congratulations to all the businesses who received awards, and thank you to the business owners for contributing to our vibrant local community. The Rural Renewal Program has 15 employer applications in review. 17 candidate letters have been issued in the last 2 weeks. And 291 candidates have been endorsed in 2024. The province has updated designated communities on prioritizing applicants with current work visas working in Alberta. Candidates outside of the country are not expected to qualify for a full application opportunity through the Rural Renewal stream. In legislative and executive services, election preparations are ongoing. You may have seen that Bill 20 was proclaimed, and so we have some certainty around some of the regulations around the 2025 election, and so we are moving forward with those changes. Board and committee recruitment continues, and the deadline for applications is November 29th, and those are coming along very well. We're getting some really good applications in, but there's still a few outstanding committees that be great to have a couple more. For Indigenous relations, we assisted with community social development, had a day with some local partners for the eradication of poverty, and assisted in procuring, bringing a local elder as well as some Indigenous cultural representation there for the event, and also participated in the event there. In intergovernmental affairs, we were able to attend the Mid-Sized Mayors Caucus meetings in St. Albert, where we were able to get updates on several matters of relevance to mid-sized cities, as well as tour some of ongoing projects in St. Albert and learn how they are doing things down there. We are also able to set up some meetings in Ottawa regarding our advocacy on the having a local biometric scanning center here. So this week, a mayor and a couple councillors will be meeting with representatives of Minister Beach's office. He's the Minister of Citizen Services and oversees Service Canada. Well, we also will be meeting with the representatives from Service Canada and Immigration Canada as well to discuss the important advocacy topic there. In corporate communications, there was various announcements announced over the last couple of weeks. Obviously, a large focus on snow clearing and some of the ice control operations that are underway. Wrap up of several construction projects, as well as celebrating Small Business Week. The engagement team also hosted an open house for city transit. In corporate marketing, the advertising bundles continue to be popular with clients. The bundles include transit, digital, and arena advertising for one monthly cost. And so we've been getting really good traction out of those. Promotions for the folktales at the museum were a success with all shows sold out. That concludes my report.
Thank you, Chief Tarrant. Do we have any questions? Looking online, I see no one raising their hands, so I think we can move on to item 4.2, which is FCSS Annual General Meeting. And Mr. Tarrant, are you taking that as well?
Thank you, Chair Blackmore. So we've provided here today the resolutions that are going to be reviewed at the FCSSAA AGM that's coming up shortly here. With no council members able to attend, we thought it would be valuable to provide council with an opportunity to provide any input on a couple of the resolutions that were going forward. And you'll see there that there is one actually put forth by the County of Grande Prairie regarding food security and asking the province to continue their food security efforts and the $20 million that was provided over the last couple of years that would be found in next year's budget. And then there is more of a housekeeping resolution being passed that would propose extending the term for board members from 1 to 2 years. With that, I'll take any questions.
Well, I think you're getting an easy day because I see no hands up. Oh, Mayor Clayton just put her hand up. So go ahead.
Thanks, Chair Blackmore. Just a quick question, Mr. Tarrant. Did administration happen to mention if there were any resolutions in regards to advocating for a different funding formula with the province?
Through the chair, it's my understanding that these are the only two motions that are being put forth for this AGM.
Okay. Thanks for the update.
Can I get someone to make a motion for this?
So moved.
Thank you very much, Mayor Clayton. So the committee is moving that council endorse the two FCSSAA resolutions, which will be forwarded on November 15th. Call a question. And that carries. And next up is 2025 budget engagement. Want to introduce that too?
Absolutely. Thank you, Chairman Blackmore. I'll welcome Director Cooper up and Ms. Bowman to come and present. And as Council is aware, we've had budget engagements over the last couple months, seeking public feedback from what they want to see in the budget. So Ms. Bowman and Director Cooper will be discussing some of the results of those engagements today.
Great. Thank you, Chief Tarrant. I don't have a whole lot more to add to that wonderful introduction. The one thing I would point out is the engagement process for the budget takes place as part of the broader Engage GP event, which is a multi-topic opportunity to come before the city and look at a number of topics, including the budget. So the information package before you today is that the committee receives this report as information. But before you do that, Corbin will walk you through the highlights of the What We Heard report.
Thank you, Philip. So like Philip mentioned, I'll provide a brief presentation on the results from the 2025 budget engagement. So for this consultation, we utilize both inform and consult-based engagement as recognized on the slide here. We inform the public by providing important information about the budget process, such as highlighting the city's open budget data portal for residents to explore financial data. We also gather public feedback on city programs, services, and projects through both online tools and in-person methods. The in-person consultations included the city's Engage Grande Prairie event and a separate budget stakeholder session with various community members. The online prioritized tool presented various city projects for budget consideration with a total of $400,000 available for allocation. Participants were asked to choose which projects they wanted to prioritize for funding. In-person consultation at the Engage Grande Prairie event presented residents with a poster board activity to select which city services and programs are most important to them. Results from the prioritized tool show that the top 3 city projects most important to residents are asphalt crack sealing, snow clearing, and rapid flashing beacons. Results from the Engage Grande Prairie activity show that the top 3 city services and programs most important to residents are public safety, indoor recreation facilities, and homelessness initiatives, and parks and green space maintenance both receive the same amount of votes. We also received other suggestions through the prioritized tool and grouped them into key themes such as calls for transit improvements, calls for infrastructure and road maintenance improvements, more investment in parks, playgrounds, and green spaces, concerns about public facilities and safety, increased large-scale events and recreation facilities, calls for reducing property taxes and focusing on basic services, more investment in homelessness initiatives and mental health supports, and finally, support for more green projects like tree planting and boulevard maintenance. For marketing and promotions, we utilize a combination of online and in-person methods to reach a diverse range of community members, including the City of Grande Prairie's social media channels, news releases, digital message boards and screens, email newsletters through the city's engagement platform, text message updates through the city's Access GP, a total of 6 paid ads resulting in approximately 177,000 total reach, which are the number of people who viewed 2025 budget-related content, and approximately 398,000 total impressions, which are the number of times 2025 budget-related content entered a person's screen. For engagement statistics, the online campaign received 400 unique visitors to the project page and 360 submissions to the prioritized tool. Additionally, the Engage Grande Prairie event saw approximately 150 participants, and our budget stakeholder session had 23 attendees. That concludes our presentation. Philip and I would be happy to take questions at this time.
Thank you. And I see Councillor Bosch has her hand up.
Sorry, thanks. I guess my question is in regards, and Corbin, I think you explained some of it in regards to where people want to put their money. But in the homelessness initiatives, priorities, is it priorities to them that, because I've heard a lot of folks say that we're spending as a municipality too much money on homelessness, and others say we're not spending enough. So I'm not sure when it means something that's important to them on which side they're on. And combining that with public safety, this just seems a bit vague to me. I just don't know where they want to see dollars put in. Do they want to see it in public safety? Do they want to see it in increased housing for homelessness? Do they want to see money go elsewhere? So that one feels vague, and I'm just curious. Also, I guess knowing is this just people who don't work in the business or people who do, things like that.
Mm-hmm. Through the chair. So for public safety, that was in regards to local policing and fire services. And then for homeless initiatives, that was more geared towards supports and I guess initiatives in supporting homeless and housing and stuff of that nature. So to your question, the people that voted for homeless initiatives would be voting in favor of more supports.
Okay, thank you.
I don't see any other hands going up with questions. I have one question, which is, we have done surveys in the past, and I'm wondering if there was any notable change in this survey for people's expectations of the budget cycle than we've seen in previous years.
So through the chair, this year we did take a different approach. We didn't do our typical survey that we have done in the past. And the reasoning for that is we conducted our biannual resident satisfaction survey this year. And that survey provided a more in-depth, factual analysis of things of the city services that residents value and views on taxation. So for our budget process this year, we decided to focus on the prioritized tool, which allowed residents to specifically select certain city projects that were, optional for budget. So, we didn't compare, to your point in the past with, different services because of the resident satisfaction survey. We wanted to be more specific to certain projects.
Okay, but I am seeing similarities in, people liking crack filling. I was surprised to see that flashing crosswalks came up as number 3. I think that tells us that the $120,000 or so that they cost a piece is effective in the community. I thought that was interesting. If we have no other questions, I would look to Mayor Clayton to ask a question, I guess.
Thanks, Chair. Blackmore, just a question in regards to the representation of the different platforms. So the indoor rec facility being second in services and programs that are most important to you, was there a significant portion of the input received at the Eastlink, which is an indoor recreation facility, or was that item shared equally across the different platforms?
Through the chair, for that specific activity, that was primarily at the Eastlink Center, so that is why you'd likely see an influx of responses for indoor recreation facilities being held at the Eastlink Center.
And if I could have a follow-up in regards to that, one of the takeaways, and I think we've talked about it a little bit, but having a broader swath of venues and sort of sample groups. I found the conversation completely different at the stakeholder session as to the Eastlink Center, but I think that's great. But I do think that there are other areas and arenas that this conversation would be valuable to move around, and it could be a smaller iteration. It could be a sort of, let's call it a road show, for a lack of a better term. But the engagement, I would think it would be great next time to see a broader swath of sort of venues and groups for input. So thanks for the work. I think there's some valuable information here, appreciate it.
Thank you, Mayor Clayton. I would look to someone online to make the motion to accept this for information. Mayor Clayton?
So moved. Yeah, happy to make that motion.
Call a question. And that carries. I think that we are down to outstanding items. Mr. Tarrant.
Thank you. There is no changes to the outstanding items. The Policy 100 and parental and bereavement leave will be coming before the end of the year. And then just one other note, the family and senior housing, that will be moved to the appropriate committee.
Good. And I would look to Councillor Bosch to make that motion.
I move that committee receive the October 29th outstanding items list as presented for information.
Thank you for that. We'll call a question. And that carries. That will end the Investment and Strategy Committee meeting. The next meeting up is Financial and Administrative Services. So we'll take a couple-minute break before